I don't know if y'all have heard, but there is a rumor floating around claiming that Blue Ivy is allegedly being prepared to take over Beyonce's supposed role as the High Priestess of a secret Hollywood society.
Beyonce is a witch. She's a very powerful witch. She's heavy into African spirituality. She is a daughter of, I believe, either a daughter of Oshun or Yemaya. I go back and forth. I feel like it's Oshun though, but if I got it wrong, I got it wrong. But nonetheless, she's a high-ranking witch.
And guess what? Allegedly, one of her former coaches is even leaking that her entire life has been mapped out for this ultimate creepy handover.
It's been 10 years.
10 years.
How does it feel being back?
It feels surreal because my daughter's here.
And Blue looks so beautiful.
She looks so beautiful. This is it's incredible to be able to share it with her, and I think she looks so incredible.
She looks so beautiful. I'm like, we could learn some red carpet tips from Blue.
Absolutely.
The way she's posing, I'm like,
she was ready.
She was ready.
She is ready.
And here I was thinking that Blue was probably just being forced to be perfect in her dance routines and to maintain a squeaky clean image. Turns out, there could be some other really dark, demonic things going on behind the scenes, and that's exactly what we are going to break down. Okay, y'all know that Blue Ivy is often treated like royal lineage by not just her family members, but basically the entire world. Her public appearances are rare, highly curated, and usually involve her standing next to her mother, Beyonce, on a world stage or in a high fashion campaign, and recently, even at the Met Gala. But then people have also noticed that she lives like she's in a cage, and every time she's outside, she's always whisked away so fast and never gets the chance to interact with anyone. She's basically treated like a mini monarch, which sounds cool until you realize she has zero privacy and zero squad outside of family-approved circles. Honey, there have even been reports that Blue Ivy isn't allowed to have public accounts, but she has secret pseudo-accounts where she follows all the cool kids and secretly wishes that she could hang out with them, because her life is exhausting. And the worst part is, she never gets a say in anything. Allegedly, well, the first time there were allegations that Blue Ivy was being forced to do things was during her performance on the Renaissance tour. Remember, she was only 11 years old when she danced in front of tens of thousands of people, and that was a pretty young age. Then, to make matters worse, at the time there were reports that her dance coach or stage trainer supposedly leaked that Blue was put through a brutal celebrity boot camp. I mean, y'all know that Beyonce holds her kids to the same perfectionist standards she holds herself to, and apparently Blue was forced to practice choreo for hours a day, missing out on normal kid stuff, just to make sure she didn't hit a wrong step on stage. People were even saying that she was looking like she was at a corporate internship at just 11. Actually, insiders have been saying that Blue is bored to tears with the business meetings and the professionalism required by Jay-Z and Bey, and she just wishes that she could be herself and reflect her true personality. However, other than this, there's also the assumption that Blue is quite literally being forced to grow up too fast. I know we all joke about the internet meme that Blue Ivy is so mature and is actually Beyonce's manager, and she has been the boss since we saw her telling her parents to quiet down at the Grammys when she was literally just a baby. And Bey even released a Blue Ivy management hoodie in her merch, and Mama Tina calls Blue the manager of the home.
My beauty guru and my manager, Miss Blue Ivy Carter, has instructed me that I needed to dye my eyebrows because they have little gray strings in them. And so that's what she's doing, and I can't wait to see the end results because right now I look like Dracula's mom or somebody.
Yes, it may seem funny, but there are guys who actually don't see this as a joke. They are looking at this as someone who is being forced to mature, and the general consensus is that it's gonna end pretty badly for Blue. Now, I probably wouldn't put too much thought into it if it was just about Blue being forced to be super perfect, but there are literally theories that have been making rounds claiming that Blue Ivy is being primed to take over an industry high priestess role from Beyonce, and that allegedly, this is exactly what a former coach of Blue has been leaking. Of course, we've heard all these rumors about Beyonce. Like there was this former bandmate by the name Kimberly Thompson who actually filed a restraining order against Beyonce, saying that Bey was utilizing spells to tap her phone and control her finances, all to keep her under surveillance. And these actions were reportedly part of a harassment campaign orchestrated by Beyonce against her. Kimberly also blamed Bey for the loss of many jobs, theft of homes, the death of her pet kitten, and her numerous broken relationships, among other things.
I think she's...
The girl cats.
Okay.
A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drugged. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her and shit while she was asleep. You know, snacking on his bitch. Killing people cats. And guess what? They wouldn't give her the restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too.
In addition, there have also been other people who have previously been close to Jay-Z and Beyonce who have exposed how they are definitely using dark forces to stay in the game, like Larry Johnson.
Well, it's obviously they've been controlled by Satanism. I mean, I'm not really scared to say that. We all know Luciferians, Freemasons, and all occult knowledge that was up from Egypt have now surfaced itself in American society. And if you actually dig through the raps, like as I have, before it was all about partying, popping bottles, but when you listen to it again with a new ear, obviously they're not serving the same most high God that I am. And that's what makes us enemies, that I stand for a completely different doctrine, a completely different nation, and a completely different truth than he does. I don't have any materialism attached to my spirit or soul anymore. I don't have fornication attached to my spirit anymore. I mean, I just got engaged July, so my life is completely different from how I was with women in the early 2000s. And I think that is the difference in itself of being evolved with Rockaware has made me see something completely different and knowing who his allegiance is with.
By the way, there was also MIA, who has been pretty vocal about how Roc Nation basically sabotaged her career. And then she went into more details about how Beyonce and Jay-Z are Satanists and how she refused to indulge in blood rituals to sell records. She also said that Beyonce is definitely not as innocent as she portrays herself and is fully aware of what happens and willingly participates too.
I met Jay-Z and I signed to Roc Nation. The first thing he told me to do is get plastic surgery. I'm not insecure because I would have got plastic surgery. People make it, they all can turn around and thank Beyonce because that's it. And enough is enough. Can come in for everyone now. And even Adele, when she gets an award, she thanks Beyonce. Oh, I didn't want to drip myself in blood and cover myself and swim in goop, in black goop, and fucking like wear devil horns to fucking sell a record. Fuck that. Or be a witch, or be that, all of that. Fuck all of them.
I mean, it also doesn't help that when Blue Ivy was born, there were tons of conspiracy theories saying that she basically proved that Jay-Z and Beyonce are purely satanic. Like how a rearrangement of Blue Ivy spells Elub Evie, and the claim was that that was Latin for Lucifer's daughter. There were also claims that Blue is an acronym for Born Living Under Evil, while Ivy stands for Illuminati's Very Youngest. So, given all these allegations, we have people saying that they wouldn't be surprised if Blue is actually being primed for the dark world. As a matter of fact, a lot of people have been saying that Blue was officially initiated during the Met Gala, and anyone who was keen enough saw the signs. I mean, everything was just super symbolic, including Beyonce's dress, which was low-key dark as hell. Initially, some people were saying Beyonce looked like the Statue of Liberty, but after people started digging deeper, a lot of folks realized that the dress was actually inspired by an art piece called The Visitor by Carolyn Durieux, a Creole artist from Louisiana. And baby, the artwork was literally a skeleton figure standing at somebody's door. For context, the piece was created in 1944, and it symbolizes mortality, death, specifically an unwelcome presence of death. And when you go back and look at Beyonce's Met Gala dress again, it starts to feel very intentional, especially because the Met Gala theme this year leaned heavily into dark artistic expression and the human body. The whole point of The Visitor is that it's standing at a threshold, and who was standing right there with her? Blue Ivy. Also, Blue was literally in a gown, as if to indicate that she was being married off, and her shoes matched with Beyonce's dress instead of her own dress, possibly symbolizing that she was walking in her mother's shoes now. Then there was Jay-Z, who was low-key looking like a groom, and to a lot of people, it looked as if he was marrying his daughter off to some sort of higher power. Well, allegedly, there's a former coach who has been confirming all these fears, and talking about all the things Blue is being forced to do to take over the throne. I mean, it's possible that he knows what he's saying, but it's also possible that this is a classic case of a bitter ex-employee out for absolute revenge. We know that the Carters make everyone sign NDAs just to breathe the same air as them. So, if a vocal coach, dance instructor, or trainer got fired, maybe it's because they couldn't keep up with Beyonce's legendary perfectionist work ethic. And what's the easiest way to get back at the family? You go straight to the internet and feed the conspiracy theorists exactly what they want to hear. So, this could quite possibly be just a bitter employee. But what do you guys think? Is the internet completely reaching with the High Priestess and Blue's takeover stuff? Or do you think there's a reason these rumors won't die? I literally can't wait to know your thoughts. So drop them in the comments section down below.